I feel like I'm just retreading very familiar ground by talking about this game, but I just couldn't help myself because Mario Galaxy rules. Simply put, Mario Galaxy is one of the best games I've ever played, which explains why I've went back time and time again. Mario Galaxy came out when I was 5 years old. I'm 19 now, so I really come to appreciate the nuances that Galaxy offers. But for a 5-year-old, it was the absolute gag of the century that they were putting Mario in space. Looking back, I feel so lucky that I had no idea what the gaming industry was, or what E3 even was when Galaxy was released, because I didn't know anything about this game. No trailers, no press, just pure excitement to find out that there was a new game that featured the fat, red-clad man jumping around in space. I wish I could have gone into Breath of the Wild the same way, and I'm saying that as someone who was consistently surprised by what that game had in store. But something about the wonder that Galaxy still manages to instill in me, even after 14 years, is astonishing. I have a confession to make. As much as I love Mario and Nintendo, I was raised a Sonic kid. My original DS had a Green Hill Zone decal on it, Sonic Heroes was one of my first games ever, and Sonic Generations has been purchased by me more times than one person should ever buy any game. All of that to say that when Galaxy came around, I had never fully played a Mario game, so not only was Galaxy a unique experience, but for my young, developing mind, it was a hallmark. A hallmark of what excellent game design really was, whether I knew it at the time or not. Sonic games, specifically the 3D titles, while being good games for the most part, aren't always the cleanest experiences. But Mario Galaxy, and most Nintendo releases really, absolutely gleam from the amount of polish that goes into them. From the big details like character design and of course the gameplay, to small details like the coconuts changing to watermelons after you get the max number of star bits, or Mario ice skating backwards when you hold crouch while skating. Everything in this game just screams how much care the developers had for it. Of course this is what we expect from Nintendo now, but when you're young, it's never, oh that's really cool, they thought of that. It's always, oh my god, they thought of that. This is the best game ever. And it's usually those things that stick with you. Now with my life story out of the way, let's talk about Galaxy's story. Galaxy's story is light, effective, and you most likely already know what it contains. Bowser steals the princess, and it's up to Mario to get her back. If that sounds familiar, join the club. We've all been around this track a million times before. What separates Galaxy from the crowd is the fact that there is a whole underlying story in the form of Rosalina. To the unaware, Rosalina is just the mysterious hot lady who helps you out, and you find her on a random planet that you wake up on after Kamek absolutely bodies Mario in the opening. However, if you take the time to visit the library on the Comet Observatory, you'll find Rosalina telling the Lumas a story about a girl whose mum died. And instead of dealing with the harrowing trauma of this event, she becomes friends with a race of sentient stars. This story is obviously much more heartfelt than what I just described, and it's very clear that someone at Nintendo wasn't a huge fan of this overcomplication of the story, because ever since, all the story we've gotten from Mario has been about a big ass turtle stealing a princess and we have to go and get her back. As underwhelming as Mario stories can be, we don't usually come for story, we come for gameplay. So let's get into that. Like I said before, Galaxy became the mark of truly brilliant game design. For me, a 5-year-old who knew nothing about game design. Obviously, I didn't really pick up on any of the little things in Galaxy when I was 5, because why would I? It's only after years of learning about this industry and growing into someone who has dedicated most of their life to sitting in front of a TV with Nintendo plugged into it some way, somehow, that I've really come to appreciate the genius that Galaxy puts on display. Mario controls so impeccably. It's just amazing. It's the Gordon Ramsay Michelin star dish of platformer excellence. Triple jump, she is here. Side flip, she's also here. Long jump, Sunshine is quaking. The spin jump is also here, kinda, but it's a little bit more complicated. Thanks to Rosalina, this game features the spin move. In effect, it was a replacement for FLUDD, a move to either save you from a platforming mistake, or to aid you in reaching higher places that are otherwise inaccessible to Mario using a normal jump. While nothing close to Odyssey levels of mobility, the spin provides enough freedom for experimentation, and when I tell you I find a new shortcut every time I play this game, I mean it. And speaking of shortcuts, the level design in this game is second to none. We've got Shiverburn Galaxy, Gusty Garden Galaxy, and of course, Loop-de-Loop Galaxy. Oh my god, I love Manta Ray Surfing! Like, genuinely, I really love the Manta Ray Surfing in this game. Releasing on the Wii, Galaxy, of course, had to implement motion controls in levels like Loop-de-Loop Galaxy. And they work just fine. The footage you're seeing is from the 3D All-Stars version of Galaxy, and I've never had any hiccups with either version of the game, even in the levels dedicated to the motion controls. The only issue I might have had is the Switch versions need to recalibrate the cursor every 2 seconds, but I grew accustomed to that pretty quickly actually. There's one huge component of Galaxy that I've neglected to mention until now, and that's the music. This game's music is absolutely immaculate. There's just no other way to put it. Galaxy featured the first fully orchestrated soundtrack in any Nintendo game, and it's something I will never take for granted. When you listen to this game's soundtrack and compare it to something like Twilight Princess's soundtrack, the first thing you'll notice is that the music for Twilight Princess, a sweeping adventure game featuring a huge world to explore with so many diverse and interesting characters to discover, has a MIDI soundtrack. I don't know who decided against an orchestrated soundtrack for Twilight Princess, but it was a crime against humanity. However, the year after that game we received Galaxy in all its glory, with one of the most magnificent scores ever to grace the collective ears of the human race. You've been hearing Galaxy's music throughout the video, and I'm sure you'll agree with me that it quite simply hits different. So yeah, if you couldn't tell, I love Mario Galaxy. And even though some games that have come out since have surpassed it in my personal list of favourites, Galaxy holds a special place in my heart. It's got so many memories attached to it, and I don't believe any game will ever match the majesty of Super Mario Galaxy.